Yes, it hurt. From the beginning of time, the book of life was written, but who are you kidding? It was rewritten to control the minds with precision. This cold-blooded frost spitting on your throne, you were sitting. Your plan is to lure us with religion. Trump, Bush, and Clinton all had the same intentions. Nothing changed. The modern day King James. Not to mention your perversion and segregation causes chaos and tension. What lives matters, that's the part that you're forgetting. Revealing what's hidden, your trickery and lies exposed. Get written.
Your trickery and lies exposed. Good riddance.
No more manipulation, no more bondage. Freedom at its best, no more weakness. Wake up, come on and wake up. No more manipulation, no more bondage. Freedom at its best, no more weakness. Wake up, come on and wake up. Wake up, wake up, read all about it. The truth is being revealed. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome. It's your girl, Yasmin Denise, and I would like to welcome you all to another episode of True Serum. Today, our True Serum today is going to be called Behind the Music. Now, what lies behind the music? Behind the music lies the artist. And on today, I have three extraordinary artists that's going to be up here with me today. We're going to be asking questions. We're going to have the conversation that we should have been having in regards to music and artists, the pay, secular, gospel, inspiration, rock, roll, hip hop, new music, millennial music, old music, hip hop versus rap. We're going to have all of those conversations today. And so I would like you all, when you first come on, you guys know I'm working from this platform. I cannot like and share, or I cannot tag. If you can go ahead and tag a couple of people. And before we go in and introduce our guests, let me go to a brief commercial break. If you haven't got the book, make sure you go to www.peculiarnationent and get the book. The author is none other than your girl, Yasmin Denise. It's a really good read, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And before that, let me give some flowers out. I would like to thank my producer, the man behind the scenes, Mr. Travis Henry. Y'all, let's thank my babe for being on here today, helping us with production. And without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest so we can get into it. But like I said, make sure you guys tag, share, and like. Make sure you tag, share, and like. So... Again, like I said, it's called Behind the Music. So we're going to bring up the guest. And our guest is none other than we have Key Turner from Georgia.
Hey,
we have
what's up, y'all?
Lady Joe, Mr. Worship himself. And we have a.k.a. D'Angelo, the mad rapper. Give them a round of applause, please. I think the production is a little slow today, y'all. I think the production man is a little slow today.
My bad.
But thank you so much, Mr. Henry. But while you're at it, again, I'm telling you guys to make sure you like, share, and tag everyone that you know, because we have three extraordinary artists in the building on today. So first, let me introduce our first artist. I'm going to start with none other, Mr. Worship himself, Mr. Slater Joel. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So glad to be a part of this evening. My name is Slater Joel. I am one of the known worship leaders, and I represent the 757 in Virginia. I am definitely honored to be a part of an amazing ministry, Calvary Revival Church. I travel the world. I travel the country. I travel everywhere. Leading worship as well as an artist, doing my own music as well as other people's music for praise and worship mostly. Yeah, and I just enjoy being an inspiration to everybody. So thank you for having me.
All right, let's give Mr. Slater, let me say this right, Joel, a hand clap.
You got it.
And now we have none other than Mr. D'Angelo, the mad rapper. Mr. D'Angelo, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Yo, what's up, family? Y'all can call me D.
Okay, Big D.
Just a little background. I was born and raised in the 757, all the 7 cities. I'm currently in San Antonio. I've been doing music for years. I've been on both sides. I've been on the Christian rap side, and I've also been on what they call the secular side, which we obviously gonna get into. So that's a little bit of my background. I'm sure we'll get into a lot more, later. But yeah.
Okay, let's give a round of applause for Mr. D, as he said he checked me. Okay, so I got checked twice. Once Joel, twice D'Angelo D. So we good. But this next person, last but not least, is my girl, Keith Turner. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the show. I am Keith Turner. I am a hip hop artist, songwriter, singer. I was brought up in Virginia, originally born in Jacksonville, raised in the 757, Virginia Beach. 2 up, 2 down up in here. Let's give it up. Yeah. I've been doing music for a while, ever since I've been a kid, and it's been a constant elevation ever since. Let's get into it.
Okay. Let's give the girl Keith Turner a round of applause, Mr. Production. Okay. So, our first question on tonight. First, okay, everybody introduce themselves. Before we go into the meat of this program, do anybody have any projects, any shows coming up, anything that they want to shout out? No, yes, maybe so.
I'm gonna bring this back up, but if I may say, everybody go stream a song called Black Woman that is out right now with myself, Rhapsody, and Rod Digger, released by none other than the beat monster himself, Knots the Ruler. Go check it out. Streaming everywhere.
Come on.
I go and stream.
Big zone. In the words of my boy Swiss Beats, big zone.
Oh, wait, did I forget something? Well, your girl is dropping her first album. Yes, it's coming out on my birthday. It's gonna be called Breaking the Mold by none other girl Yasmin Denise. So y'all make sure it's gonna be on iTunes. It's gonna be everywhere. So make sure y'all go and stream it. Also, VA, I'm coming back to the 757. I'll be doing a pop-up True Serum on September the 12th. It's gonna be in Chesapeake. The flyer is up. It's an event page, so everybody should get it. That's on my page. And make sure you guys just come on out. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah.
I'm getting pretty busy now. I've also have been promoted as the assistant youth director at my church. So for all high school, college students, anybody who happens to be watching, come out August 28th to Calvary Revival Church. Tune into our page for our Level Up conference, and we're doing a big block party right there in the parking lot for anybody who wants to show up. Come through for that August 28th. Also, I've never in my life performed on a stage in Franklin. I'll be performing at a festival. They're having a city festival. They're having September 25th. I have my full band, singers, everything, y'all. It's going to be a time out there. It's going to be my first big one since the pandemic. Also, I will be starting up my weekly virtual live worships again, too, real soon. So y'all make sure y'all tune into those. You'll see them on my page.
Okay. Clap your hands. That's good. Let's get it. Okay, so I know I always say hello to the people that's watching. So far, let me say hello to Erica Prophet. I love you. I thank you for your support. Mr. Travis Henry, I thank you for your support. Regina, that's my girl G for surviving all broken pieces. I love you, girl. Thank you for joining in, and everybody else that's joining in. If I haven't mentioned your name, please forgive me. Okay, so now the first question I have is, what does music mean to you? Or what is music to you? I guess that's the question we asking. So we're going to ask the first person to answer that is going to be Keith Turner. Can you tell us, what does music mean to you?
Music to me is it means a lifeline. Music is a soundtrack for everybody's life. Like what it's like a timestamp for memories and everything. So music for me, it's life, you know. And plus, you know, I was raised in a musical family. My pops played guitar, always been around it. So it's like, it's just life for me. And it's also my therapy. Yeah. I've done a lot in my music, a lot. And and it makes it relatable for other people. Us as writers, we can put our stuff into words that the average person who's not musically inclined, we make the soundtrack for their life.
Yeah.
So music for me is life. It's life. It's a soundtrack. It's a timestamp.
Okay. Well, Mr. D, can you tell us what does music mean to you, or what is music to you?
Um, it's healing, it's therapy, it's a serum, it's an elixir. I mean, it's it's all of that. I mean, it's really, and I hate to sound so deep, but the truth of the matter is, it's soulful. Um, it's one of the things that you can go to any country, any continent, and it'll translate.
Mm,
You got people in China who don't even speak English, and they rap in lyrics, because they just feel it. So it's everything, you know.
okay. I forgot you was the prophet, so I know when I ask you, I'm gonna ask you last because I know you're gonna come deep on us. Mr. Slater, Joel, can you
Um,
tell us what does music mean to you, or what is music to you?
Music to me is exactly. I'll start by piggybacking off of what D said. It is the language that can speak through any genre, through any ethnicity, through any culture. Um, Everybody understands music if they don't, even if they don't understand a person.
Mhm.
The second thing music is for me is music is the words of my soul when my mouth can't speak it.
Mm, mm.
There are times that I can't find the words, but a song will say everything I needed to say. That's one of the things I enjoy about writing music. That's one of the things I enjoy about other people's songs. Kirk Franklin, thank you for writing so many songs. Fred Hammond, thank you for writing so many songs. We can go down the list of great artists, of people who have spoken for me. Thank you, Tank, for speaking for me
Come on now, come
when I,
on
when
now.
I couldn't speak for myself. So with that being said, music is that thing. It is the decoder of life. It is the translator of life. It is the transformational information of life
Come
that
on.
we just we need it. We need it. And even those who can't sing, and even those who have y'all noticed, even people who they don't even make music. Some of those people pick the best songs
That part.
because that's how much music means to life. So I have to also piggyback off of Key and just say, those were great answers, and it's the lifeline. Music literally is my lifeline.
Yeah. Mhm.
Gosh, I don't even want to answer this question. You guys are so deep. But to be honest, I agree with all of you because it is what it is. I breathe, eat, and sleep it. And I say that because, like you said, when I couldn't talk, or when I couldn't tell anybody what was going on, or when I couldn't see my way out, I could write a song, whether I was writing for me or somebody else.
Right.
And I was able to express myself, even when whether I was angry, sad, in love, hating, or jealous, depressed, suicidal, whatever I was, happy, living it up, boiling, whatever I was at the time, I was able to put it in a song and express myself when I couldn't find the words. And yes, I know people say, well, you aggressive. How could you? I'm also, there's a part of me that's shy. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, it was really there. And so music was the only way I can express myself. And that's when battling, you know what I'm saying? Battle rapping, when I was really on it, you know what I'm saying? That was my way. When I was killing them in the battles, it was because literally I was killing that person that abused me or hurt me. And that's how, I was able to communicate. And so I just agree with everything you guys say. I agree with it all. It's the lifeline, it's healing. shoot, it's soulful. It is our soul. It's what we think. It's the frequencies. It's the molecules that's in our body. That's why we react the way we react. It's a
Yeah.
our language. We can speak our love language through music. We can speak
Yeah.
whichever type of language. Like I said, however you feeling, it can come through music. It's also a memory stamp. It's so much to me. It's my first baby. It's my first being. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I just really agree with all of you guys, but I just wanted to say that because music is like, yo,
It's everything.
it's my savior. And I'm not saying above God, so y'all deep folk don't come for me because I'm not the one. But what I'm saying is music saved me.
Yeah.
Come on now. It saved me at a time when I didn't know which way was up. It saved me at a time when I was in my darkest place and it was a song. Guess what? The pastor couldn't pull me out that place.
Mhm. Yep.
The people praying couldn't pull me out that. Guess what? And y'all might get mad, but my tongues couldn't pull me out that place. I don't care how bad I eat shots. I could not get out that place. It took a certain song for me to write, and then a certain song that someone else wrote. And then it started to resonate with my spirit and my soul. And I was just like, okay, I can make it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever like I always say, God uses a lot of things, and for me, he stabilizes my mood through house music. I love house music. I'm an MC to the heart,
Yeah.
but there is nothing better than when I'm just sitting here and I'm feeling like I'm in a funk or something. I'll throw on some K Tronada or some dance music, and I'll it's like a mood stabilizer. I'm like, I don't need no lithium, baby. I don't need no lithium. This is my lithium. This is stabilizing my mood, and all of a sudden I'm in my chair. I'm happy. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and and you know what I think that comes from? Because that rhythm you feel with when the drums hit, it hits something that goes back. We ain't gonna go there. That goes back. That thing hits something. The rhythm of the drums, the frequency of the guitar, the strings, and the keys that they hit. That's why musicians, y'all, Slater or y'all can hear the key and everybody start jumping, whether he said something good or not,
Yeah.
because it does something. It hits something on the
Yeah.
inside of you, and you resonate with that. You might not even be resonating with what he's saying, because he could be saying bring in $1,000 and you ain't got no $1,000. But they hit that key and you trying to find 1,000.
Well, I mean, it's like you said. It's
You
like
hit
you
that.
said. Frequencies.
Yes,
Frequencies
and
are deep. We talk about when God first created everything. He spoke it, right?
yeah.
Speaking is a sound. It all started with sound and frequencies. I
Yeah.
mean, that's God in itself.
But see, I'm gonna mess with you, and I hope I'm not jumping the gun. She just used a very important word, and
Mhm.
that word is sound.
Yep.
And I think what kind of gets me about our generation and what we really need to really focus on is what is our sound.
Mm.
Not what is the sound, not what is the sound that's gonna sell records, not what is the sound that's going to that's going to be popular. But I believe everybody, I mean, every sound that you hear right now, somebody had to try it first.
Yeah.
This mumble rap, 2 Chains and all these other people started that stuff, like, and now it has taken over. But nobody was rapping like that before them guys. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so it's
I
like
understand that.
even trap music, something that started way dirty south. People up north used to joke that kind of music. You know what I'm saying? But somebody had to do it first, and it's become one of the most popular styles of music. So my thing is, I just hope more people in our generation learn what their sound is. It might not sound like nothing else you ever heard before,
That's right.
but just like other things, it has to start somewhere. So sound is very important. We got to find out what our sound is.
Can I say something about that? You just blessed me. That was a little confirmation, even though I ain't need it, but there was some confirmation. I mean, not saying I didn't need it
I
because
got you.
you gave it to me a couple of times, because this project I'm doing is different, because people will look at you like, okay, but you're the prophet, or you're a minister, or you're licensed, or you're the worship leader, or you was an adjutant, or you was this, or you just Yasmin, you're a mom, you're this, you're that, or your age, or whatever. And when God gave me the title Breaking the Mold, and the music that's on, listen, it took me 10 years to write this album. I had to really go through some things, and it was my sound.
Yeah.
Because every now and then I, Yasmin, allowed someone to taint my sound.
Yeah.
Because they wanted me to be a certain way, or because of what my title was, I couldn't do certain things. So I cut off what God told me to do, and I thought I was doing the right. I knew I wasn't, but I did what they told me to do. You understand? And it was all about the sound that comes from me, because you know, everybody got the people that can hear that sound. Your tribe, your sound is for your tribe, but your sound is for these set of people. Your sound is for these set of people, and our sounds together is for the world. And the crazy thing was, I tried to hit every genre
Yeah.
that I deal with. I'm talking about from the gospel reggae to the hip hop, regular hip hop, to house music. Because Keisha, you know, I'm a house fanatic.
Yeah, we get down with the house.
Soul, and R&B. You feel me?
This
And
Africa.
hip hop as well. So I tried, and when he gave it to me at first, I was like, "Come on, God, this ain't gonna even make no sense." And he said, "I gave you the word title, breaking the mold for a reason. This is your sound.
Yeah.
You need to be happy with everybody's not gonna like your sound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to find your sound, and that's the only thing that can be up here."
Yeah.
that's it. And it's so important because you could tell when somebody's not operating in the energy they're supposed to anyway, because it don't sound authentic.
Yeah.
I know so many artists, especially in the game, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and instead of sticking to what they know is true to them, like I'm boom bap hip hop. I'm all about
Me
bars.
too.
I love bars and boom bap tracks, sample heavy. You know, also I like some of the newer stuff too. I dabble in that as well, but only if it's gonna resonate true with
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? But you can tell when people are not being authentic. It's like oil and water. It's just not gonna mix anyway. You feel it, you hear it, and you're like, you know. I know so many artists that have done that. So I'm glad you brought that up about sticking to your sound. Be true to yourself, you know, and it resonates with people when you are keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? When you're sticking to your sound, people they attract to it, and those people that is meant to hit is gonna hit them. You know.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, I'm so
I
glad
got,
you brought that up.
and can I jump on that too, real quick?
Mhm.
What you said, yes, and Keith, is exactly why. And I'm not trying to be real deep, but just to be honest, that's why revival hasn't hit our nation.
Come on now.
And I believe revival is not going to hit the nation through the next sermon.
Yeah.
I
Come
believe
on,
revival
sir.
is going to hit it through music, because music again is the one thing that transcends language.
Come
It
on.
transcends ethnicity. Music brings us together all the time. And
Yes.
what happens is we don't have the people, like you said, in the four corners of the earth, who where your sound might just be for that corner of the earth.
That's
But if
right.
all of us get where we're supposed to be, there's no way no area can go untouched.
That's
But
right.
the problem is, like, we're so busy in this social media world trying to compare success, trying to compare sound. And it's like now it's like it's so bad now, y'all. It makes no sense. Like I understand certain people, you know, got on and made a song. I'm gonna take my horse to the Old Town Road, and they went viral. And not only viral, the Joker's a mega millionaire now.
Come on
Okay,
now.
that's his story.
Yeah.
That's not your story. When we find out our sound, we can find out our purpose, and we can reach the people who we're supposed to reach.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about. It's not about reaching just, I mean, we can all reach people if we just try. But nah, I don't want to just reach people to be reaching people, because then that's also how you get boxed in. Because then this audience that you have created for yourself only wants to hear this one thing.
Thank you. That's a
And
hey,
and
the
you bigger than that.
I need to hear you. But let me just say this. I went through that so bad. Keisha, I get the Remy Mars Wu Tang. Yeah, that's me. Buster, I'm in that vein. You know what I mean? So I remember when I first was switching over, like there's certain studios I can't go to because my MC name used to be Craze. It was QRAZ, qualified to be restored, anointed, and zealous for God. But people didn't think of it like that. They just heard craze, and because of my style and how hard I went as a female, they figured, oh, yo, she crazy. And that's what they called me. So anytime, even switching to singing or anything, even God, they didn't even want to record me doing gospel, hip hop, nothing. If I wasn't bringing praise to them, they wanted nothing else. I couldn't get no good beats. I couldn't get nobody to record me right. They still kept trying to stick me in that box. And I was just like,
Mhm.
you know what? This is crazy. But I really, truly believe, like, I'm so happy God gave me you three. Because I know what D'Angelo's about to say is going to blow everybody mind. He's too deep. That's why I was waiting a little bit. Y'all really want between you and Slater, we could just sit back and be like, yeah.
I'm so weak.
So I say this because there's a song on my album, and I was scared to put it on my album. And God gave me this song, and I was so scared because of the title and what's it about. And He had to deal with me. He said, "You've been there. How many women in the church and out of the church that's doing the same thing? How many men? It's called side nigga. You feel me? But because of the title, people will look and think, but you gotta listen to it. Why did
Mhm.
you become the side nigga? What happened? Where was the insecurity lie? What did this person do? What did that? And it's all in the song on how it happened. And yes, I've been there. I had a couple. You know what I'm saying? Not now. I love my husband, y'all. This was back in the day. Don't try to mess with my marriage. I don't play them games.
In the words of Bernie Mac, long time ago, long time.
Long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Because it come for you. They be
Get the
trying
broom
to
out.
savage. She said she had a side nigga. Listen, no, don't play me. Play Lotto. But so, yeah. So I had to really, I battled with putting this song on the album because I was like, yo, they gonna come for me. He said, so what? They already come for you. Put it on the album. How
True.
many people are struggling to stay faithful because they're missing something? And whether they in church or out of church, because you deal with the in church and out of church, there's people out here that really do got side niggas. Help them before they get exposed.
Facts.
Okay. And that's my jank. Side nigga.
Hey, that's gonna be a heck of a soundtrack to somebody's life. Ah.
What?
So weak. It's already the soundtrack to a whole bunch of people's lives. They just
Mhm.
don't say
Hard.
it
Exactly.
in church and
Exactly
out
my
of
point.
church.
Yes.
Hard. And I was just scared though at first because I was like, and he was like, you scared? Why? And I just didn't understand because I was just like, it took me so long. I'm trying to get this assignment right. I'm getting too old to keep doing it. I ain't got time for this. And every song was strategically put up there, and I understand it now. And you guys are really helping me right now understand it the more. But D'Angelo, you can get. I know you. I can see it. I can see it in your neck, your vein. So, you can get ahead and say what you got to say about the music, sir.
I mean, I'm just everything y'all was saying. I resonate with, like, from being on both sides of it. Music is so personal. That's why, when someone critiques it, you better be careful, you know, because it's our baby. That's like somebody talking about your baby. So, man, I don't even know where to start really. Like, I used to do what they call gangster rap, but the church calls secular music, and I know we're gonna get into it. Um, and once I got saved, I said, well, let me use my gifts over here. And this was in when I was in Columbus, Ohio, and start doing Christian rap. And me being a babe in Christ, I'm thinking, okay, everybody's friends, everybody's family, everything is great. And so I went to the other Christian rappers in the city and asked them for advice. Hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? I don't know how to express myself in this genre, but I want to because I'm hungry. And I did not believe what I was hearing at the time, but I got hit with so much abuse
Mm,
out the gate.
mm.
And I'm talking feelings hurt,
Mm.
not being accepted, getting rejected. And I'm just like, guys, we're on the same team, team Jesus. And it
Okay.
wasn't it wasn't that at all. And it was times I'm just going, we keeping it real here. I
Keep
went
it
home and
100.
I cried. I'm talking cried. I said, God, why did you leave me here for everybody to put me down? It wasn't that I wasn't talented or anything like that. I remember one specific instance, and I was talking to one of my homies the other day about this. I did a concert, and my first Christian rap concert, And I get off stage and everybody's like hype, you know, I'm like, man, this is what's up. And the first thing that I heard was, you didn't say Jesus enough. And I thought it was a joke. I was like, ha, but they were serious. And I was like, what? Like, what? I was so hurt. Now looking back now, I can laugh at it, but at the time I was hurt because literally that's the first thing that comes out as soon as I get off the stage. And these are people that I respected. These are my peers. And you
Did
know,
you
as time went
need
on,
salvation?
That part.
you know,
Those people. Oh God. Ugh.
yeah. And but again, you got to remember, I'm fresh out the streets at this time. I got the gold grill. You know, this is back in the Dipset days. I got the big earrings in the whole shebang. You know,
Not Dipset.
Please don't bring the Dipset up because they didn't win. So let's get this out the way right now. All right. I'm
we'll
down
deal with
with
that later.
Dipset. The anthem
It's
is my
still
song.
fresh.
Body.
In his
Wounds
defense,
are too
in
fresh.
his
Continue.
defense, Dipset was the drippy ones. That's all he's
Exactly.
saying.
My
He's
body.
not saying
Exactly.
they had the bars. We all know the Locks killed the whole verses. We all know Jadakiss put the whole Yonkers and
So
everybody on his back.
y'all gonna turn this into a whole nother show. I ain't gonna
Right,
do it.
absolutely.
It's still fresh. Continue. We're sorry.
Nah, you good. You
Okay,
good.
go ahead. I just wanted to get out the way before you.
Whatever.
Okay, whatever.
But yeah, you know, so I didn't hear the word secular until I got saved. And I'm a very analytical person, so I want to understand, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I start doing my research. I'm like, how come I've never heard of this word, like secular? What the heck is it? And so I was met with so much um judgment, and I'm talking from every tier. But at first I was angry at the church. I'm not gonna lie, I was upset. I'm like, man, you guys were supposed to embrace me and yada yada yada. But once I started to do different shows and work with different gospel artists that were already, you know, established, I found out something. You know, me and Yaz talked about this previously, but I found out, wait a second, they all work in the same building.
Stop. Don't go there.
And I started seeing some of the same things. So when you was talking about the side chick stuff, I'm like, I really saw that on the gospel side, and it blew my mind. So again, remember, I'm coming from the streets. I mean, straight up being honest, gang banging, selling dope, and I give my life to the Lord, and I'm like, wait a second, I stopped doing all of this. You guys are judging me off of my appearance and my presentation, but you guys are in the church still doing this. And so for that reason alone, that's why I backed away and said, okay, I can't be a part of this. I don't knock people who do it, but I said, I can't be a part of this, because at the very least, I don't want to be a hypocrite. At the very least, I said, you know, if I'm going to serve the Lord and do this, that's one thing, but I'm not going to serve the Lord and be rapping about something that I'm not living.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
was the main thing for me. So that's
since
just a
you
little
broke
bit.
that open, let's just go. Wait a minute. Since you broke that can of worms open,
Can,
go ahead, Slay.
can I jump in before because I feel like we about to shift and this is gonna be good.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Before we shift to the good stuff, I just wanted to say, because when I heard you, D, I felt like the need to say, not to you, but just to somebody who might be watching, because I feel like you know this already. Beware also. I don't think it's more so, because I think sometimes we blame the church on stuff versus people. People gonna be people no matter what. And what I've noticed about people in general, whether in church or secular, I think the biggest issue you were up against was you were more talented than people you were around. Because what it sounded like to me is people hating. Everything you just said sounded like people who knew they didn't have what you had. And the only way to keep you under where they wanted you to be was to point out everything you
nitpicking.
Exactly. There are people out here who literally are listening to you to dissect you. And so I just feel like sometimes even in church, I don't blame the church for jacked up people. I blame people for that, because at the end of the day, even after you get saved, that's a heart thing.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
what I've had to do many times in church is even change my circle right in church.
Yeah.
I don't hang with folk just because they call the name of Jesus. I don't judge you by your mouth. I judge you by your actions. And
Exactly.
so if you can, like Yaz said earlier, you can speak in tongues, you can shout, you can do whatever you do. If I'm at your concert, but you ain't never at mine, I got to question that.
Talk about it.
If I'm always giving to you, but you can't give me nothing, but you want to call it a kingdom relationship, that's a lie. And I have to check that. So what you have to do, even for those of us who are in church or out of church, no matter where you are, change up your circle when the energy ain't right, because people gonna be people.
That's what I learned. It took me a while, but that's what I learned. And that's why I said I'm not critical. At first, I was critical of the church because my expectation was, hey, you're supposed to be, different. But and like you said, I've learned, hey, these are just people, and I didn't want to say it because at the time I was operating under that false humility. And, so I'm like coming in and my pastor at the time, he just straight up told me, I went to him and I'm like distraught. I'm like, why are they doing this? He said, man, they are hating on you. I said, but we're all in this together. He's like, nah, bro. He said,
Judas was supposed to be all in it with him too, wasn't he?
That part.
Huh? And I love my boy Peter, but even when it came down to the nitty gritty, I can't depend on Peter either. Because you'll cuss for me, but you won't protect me.
That part. Come on and cuss and protect.
Come on here.
That's why ultimately you just have to. It's you and God ultimately, and it's God, please. That's all that matters. And our people being touched. That's all that matters. When I stepped outside of the four walls, that was one of the things that I learned. God told me, I can't speak for nobody else. God said, I ain't never told you to stop writing bars.
Yeah.
You need to spit those bars.
Yeah.
I put the creativity and the wit inside of you to do that. That's me. It's still me. Just because you're not saying Jesus, Jesus every 5 lines doesn't mean that it's not of God. A painter knows how to paint. He'll come paint your house and do a good job. Is that secular because he's not writing Jesus on the wall?
Talk about it.
Come on.
That's what. Wait.
It's still giving glory to God because God put the artistic ability inside of him. So it's still God.
Yeah.
And that's something I had to learn literally on my knees in a room by myself crying, because at that time I was involved in a relationship where, I've been hip hop almost all my life. And I got into a relationship where that person had got involved in doing the music with me. And then they got on this weird train of feeling like everything was a devil. So, all of the sample records that we had on the walls were ripped off, and look at this cover, it's got the devil in it, and I'm like, what, bro, you bugging right now. So long story short, that person tried to make me stop rhyming and saying if it's not, rhyming about God, period, then it ain't a God. And I'm like, I don't believe that. It just didn't hit my spirit right at all. I'm like, nah, bro, God ain't put all of that, the word play inside of me just for it not to be, what it is. I give God the glory for all the bars that I write. So,
let me ask you guys,
and then I ended up seeing a documentary with Al Green. Perfect example.
That's it.
In a documentary where Al Green went through the same exact thing. He said, Lord, I sing songs about love. And people make children off of these songs. People love these Al Green songs. Shoot, the pastors is loving Al Green.
Come on now.
Al Green is like, God, if you want me to stop making these songs about love, then I'll do it because I love you, Lord. At the end of the day, I love you. But if you don't tell me to stop, then I go do it. You know what God told this man? God said, what you mean? When you're making those songs about love, that is me, bro. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Come on, ow.
Because I put it in you.
God is
People
love.
are coming to God
I
is
was
so
just about to say that. I was just about.
come on. God is poetry.
Yep.
God, the dopest poet there is. The whole word is beautiful poetry.
And don't let me mess you up here, because to add to what you're saying is, I done heard a whole lot more R&B songs that celebrate love and celebrate my wife and celebrate how good the gift that God gave me is. We need more gospel songs that do that, because some of these people out here who professing Christ don't know how to love their wives, don't know how to love their
Come
husbands,
on now.
don't know how
The
to
side,
speak
the
well,
side, the
don't know
side
how-
niggas. The
don't
side niggas.
come on here.
Nigga.
So let me ask you guys this though, and
Yeah.
this is something that I had a hard time navigating. Is we all come from hip hop. I'm used to you say something, you diss me in a song, I diss you back, right? So how do you navigate that? And this is not just for me, but for anyone out there. What do you guys recommend someone do when, hey, they're trying to live right, live for the Lord, but people are talking about them, and usually, like you said, like we talked about earlier, we express ourselves through the music. So
Can I
how do you do that when they're bad mouthing you, but you express yourself musically, but I can't diss them because it wouldn't be Christ-like. So what do you do?
say something?
I
Can
I
say
still cut
something?
them.
That part. Let me just say this.
I
Like,
still rip them.
yeah, hip hop wise, right? A
Y'all
song.
about to say, y'all talk to hip hop. I got something a little deeper than that.
Yeah, go ahead. Listen, I'm not gonna tell you. See, with me, back in the day, I probably would have did a diss song back and came at him, whatever the case might be, But it just really depends. Like, it depends on what they. Is it worth me? Is it worth it for me to even respond to them? That's the number one. You understand? Who are you? Okay, so if you just any old, because people talk about me on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So do I take this song and dedicate it to you, my nigga? No, because you're not worth it. It just really depends, and that's really all I can say. Is like, it just really depends who it is.
But doesn't
In go,
doesn't
I'm hip hop to the core. My brother was a DJ. My other brother rhymed. I rhyme. I'm from Bed Stuy, my nigga. But at the end of the day,
They're
it's
at New York.
you know what I'm saying? Is it worth it? Is it worth me coming at you? Am I gonna give you? Am I gonna waste 8 ball? Cause I'm not giving you 16, my nigga. And I'm gonna say it in 8, and I'm gonna get you straight early. You heard what I'm saying? But is it worth it?
I feel like she got a knife in her pocket right now. Yo, she probably got a gun right there on her desk.
She got her Tim's on.
For Christ, I don't play games over here.
I got scared. But no, I'm just messing. No, for real though. No, I feel you. But I guess my answer kind of goes along with what you're saying though. I think we all, even some of the hip hop artists that we grew up on, watching them diss other people, I think they all have leveled up.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part we got to get to, where you level up, where you living above what people say. Jadakiss said something crazy the other night. I'm going to say something he said, and then I'm going to say something Jeezy said. Jadakiss said the other night, yo, we got Grammys. Y'all got grams.
That part.
You feel me? That's a whole nother level. Like, I got Grammys. All y'all got is grams.
But see, that's how you clap back. It's in how you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I give you an example, and I'm gonna step off real quick. I was in a horrible situation. Happened to me. A real close friend of mine did some foolery, and it's like, I can't fight you. I cannot fight you. I'm too grown to be fighting. But I'm about to write this song.
That's different. That was dope.
Well,
I put it in the song.
That's what I was saying.
Because and after I wrote it, I felt so much better, and actually was able to. I forgave her and everything. Like, I released her. That was my release.
That's what I was saying. Like, because since music is therapy, especially
that was my release.
So So, but when you're doing it in that realm, when they package it up as this is a gospel Christian artist, then people start pointing the finger and oh well, why you over, like it seemed like it makes matters worse. You know what I mean? Like that, at
Yeah.
least that's what I went through.
Well, didn't Jesus always go at the Pharisee? He called them vipers. He called them names. He cussed them too. Yeah, I mean, he had to clap back plenty of times on a whole bunch of people.
And that's
I heard somebody say today at a funeral,
You know?
This was crazy. Yo, I heard somebody say today at a funeral, they were like, Jesus, the Bible doesn't say go out to the nations and preach sin. The Bible says go out to the nations and preach the gospel.
Yeah.
So when you hear people preach against sin, where did you see that at? When Paul was talking to them churches, when he was talking to the church of Corinth, when he was talking to that Roman church, telling them, hey, look, you're lying, you're cheating, you're fornicating, you're doing all this stuff. Because y'all the ones professing Jesus. We're only supposed to take that message of the gospel, his love, what he did to the world. So how we respond is very important simply because people are watching how we respond to stuff. So I like the whole write a song. And I like the whole, just like I said, as long as it's a level up and it's not like I'm getting down, I'm not getting down in the mud with you, because I'm not going to lie to y'all. I got clean clothes now. And I ain't dirtying up my clothes again for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I've been at the bottom before. I fought my way to where I am. I ain't fighting no more.
Yeah.
And I think that's just how we do it. I'd make a better song. It wouldn't even be about them. It would be something contrary to what they did and make sure it go platinum.
That's why I said it depends.
Yeah, serve that success up on a platter.
In Keisha's defense, it was necessary.
And it wasn't just for me too, because
it just really depends. If it's necessary,
I generalized it. It's not like I put the person's name. I told the story.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, here's hundreds of people like, yo, I relate. Oh my God, I just went through that. Oh my God, do you know how much this helped me? Yeah. This helped me to realize that I need to protect my circle, because ultimately that was the message of the song, is just knowing who's around you. There's people sitting next to you that really hate you.
Come on, I just
sitting right there in your midst. They're congratulating you, and in the back of their mind, they're like, "I can't stand it." You know what I'm saying? That was the message of the song, and that's how it came out. And many people could relate, and now people are protecting their energy. That's what it's about. That's so that was a clapback, and then so we got a whole lot of people
come on, clap back with the level up, huh?
with the level up. Protect your circle, protect your energy, man. Everybody ain't for you. Everybody,
but I think that's life too. I think sometimes we blame the devil on a whole lot of stuff, man. And that jank don't got nothing to do with the devil. That's got everything to do with. I think we go through so much adversity, y'all, because God is trying to show us how far we came. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, back in the day, when you started talking about what you would have did back in the day, I'm telling you, I saw a gun. I saw it. But I believe those moments are bigger than just, what happened to you. Those moments are for, if you step back, dog, I'm glad I'm better than that now.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm glad I'm clean now, yo. You stay dirty, you stay muddy, you stay mad at the world. I'm gonna keep going to the bank. I'm gonna keep giving God glory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep blessings on blessings on blessings.
That's right.
And you know what I'm saying? We just gonna live a good life. And that comes with the territory. So my thing is, you're not ready for success if you ain't ready to just have to ignore some people sometime. Because the higher you go up, there's always gonna be somebody jealous.
Oh, it's gonna get crazier.
Yeah. And the next, let me tell you something. If you become someone with 70 million followers on Instagram, do you honestly think you got time to sit down and respond to out of 70 million people?
I know somebody.
3 million comments, and you got time to respond to that? That shows where you are.
Yeah, I know somebody that did that, and I felt bad for him, because I'm like, do you really have the time and energy to go underneath all of those comments and say something? That's a lot. I was getting tired.
Right.
Like, how could you?
Right.
cut the comments off. Protect your energy, beloved. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Do that. I put a post up a couple years ago on Boom Bap Nation. I had a song called Over It. A lot of people liked it. I say about 90% of the people liked it, but I had some 10% comments that were just awful. Yeah. I read about 2 of them and just shut down. I was I'm not looking no more. I'm not looking no more. Things that are about to come out on YouTube, all of that. I'm not looking at that stuff because I see what these artists on these higher levels go through. And you just have to learn how to protect your energy and just listen to the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit say, don't go look at that.
Yeah.
Don't even do it.
And that's the problem. We disobedient and then get mad when all that mess get into our spirit. You know you ain't supposed to be looking at that foolishness.
Don't look at that. Just keep it moving.
You got too much work to do. Y'all, come on.
Yeah.
We got too many lives to change, man.
Too many.
We got a whole world to reach, man. We ain't worried about them 5 or 6 miserable people.
Nope. And most of the time they'll make the comment, and then I had to realize this too. A lot of people who make negative comments, and okay, everybody's not gonna like what you do, but most of the time, people that make those kind of comments on something that's positive, for one, that's an internal thing going on with that person. That person that's making that comment is something's going on with them internally for them to be hating like that.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we were saying about love and self-love. Actually, I just reposted something today that says, may I never become the person that doesn't love themselves to the point where I gotta hate on something that somebody's doing and they're good at it. Like, why do that? If you love yourself enough, you ain't gonna have time to be hating on what nobody do anyway. Because if you love yourself and you're flawed and everything you're doing is not going to be A1 every time, I could look at somebody and be like, you know what, they're doing a great job at what they do. I ain't got time to be hating on that person.
Yeah. And we all have room for improvement. Like, so
everybody,
if you perfect, I mean, cool with you. But for most of us who understand that we're not,
right?
I'm sure you got a whole lot more work to do on yourself.
So much.
Than to sit here talking about, what I'm saying, anybody else that got something going on. And it's funny because those people, you got to watch them because they're not just talking about stuff in their circle or stuff with people it be people that don't have nothing to do with what they got going on. That's just a miserable person.
Right.
When you can just talk about people that don't have nothing to do with what you got going on. Mm-hmm. They not taking a dime out your pocket. Right. They're not making you lose no sleep. But you got that kind of energy to give the people that don't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty serious, yo. So we all got work to do.
Yes, indeed.
Before we go to this little commercial, what you had to say, D'Angelo?
I was going to say, and we can probably get to it later, but one of the things that I dealt with is, and again, I'm saying this for the audience. I dealt with how do you deal with when you're disrespected in the streets or the secular world. You handle it accordingly. But for some reason, when it's inside the church, it's wrapped up into this Jesus box. I can say something disrespectful to you and you feel protected. So I think maybe that'll be helpful for the audience if we can, discuss that as well, because there is a difference. There is a big difference from the streets. I'm 6'5", 300 pounds. In the streets, you're not talking to me in any kind of way. But in the church, people was talking to me crazy, and I would literally be at home losing my mind, like, yo, I was not prepared, God. How do I handle this? Because in the streets, I'm stepping to you, like, we gonna deal with it and be done with it. So how do we deal with it within the body properly? That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So we're gonna answer that question in a few seconds. But let's have a little commercial. If you haven't got the book, make sure you go get the book. www.peculiarnationent.com. The day I woke up, by none other than your girl Yasmin Denise. Also, if you would like to donate to this platform, please do at $Yasmin Campbell. That's $YASMINCAMPBEL to the L. All righty. So now let's get back to that question. I'm gonna go first. Let me answer this.
Go ahead.
I think, see me, I'm not saying that I will handle it the same way.
Add $Yasmin Campbell. That's
That's right. Put that cash app back up there again. $ Yasmin Campbell. Hold on, let me find it.
And
Nah,
to piggyback on that question,
yeah, go ahead.
is
You do
this:
that, and then I do that.
why is it that way?
Trust me, I got you after Yaz. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think there's a misconception. See, of course, we all get saved. We come in and we want to change, and it's people. Like he said, I'm not gonna say it's the building itself, but it's the people in the building. See, the thing about it is, whether I'm in the building or out of the building, you're not gonna disrespect me. Now, how I check you debates on where I'm at mentally. See, because that's why you have church fights happen in churches, because you can't come at everybody like that. You have to remember that we are still people, and we still have emotions, and we still have feelings. And I don't care who you are, you're not going to disrespect me. Now, how I check you is how it just really depends. So it's your maturity level, how you check somebody. We in this, even how I check somebody in the street now. Yeah, I'm strapped because we in 2021 and people out here is crazy. So you right, Slater. I am strapped. But today, like, yeah, I am. People are crazy out here. I bless God, I've never had a Karen or no experience, because he already know to keep me out of being good. I don't have that experience. But back to what I was saying, it's in the street. Even now, I'll let somebody know, I'll put them in their place, and I'm gonna do the same in church. It's just that I'm matured now. That's all it is. It's based upon the person maturity. Because if you got somebody that's immature that just gets saved, just like they'll beat a chick up on a guy up on the street, they're gonna fight in church too. But if you have somebody that's mature, I'm gonna check you, yo. I don't do that. One thing I don't play with, I'm gonna let you know. I don't play with my money, my kids, or my man. Don't play with me. In the church, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. And I might say it like this: excuse me, whoever you are, pastor, probably, you have respect for, depending on the person. But then again, if you disrespect me, I'm gonna carry it with you like that. But I'm gonna be mature with it. And I might do it nice, nasty, and do it real happily, so you can see your ways in this thing and get convicted real quick, like that. Like that. And I'm gonna let you know I don't play with my money, my kids, or my man's. Don't play with me. It to me, because of where I'm at now, I can do them both the same way. Me being saved don't stop me from checking you.
Right.
No one said that just because you are a pastor, lay member, elder, prophet, whatever your title. God don't even respect our titles. He doesn't respect our title. So what makes you think because you got a title, or just because you go to church, that you can disrespect somebody?
That's
And
right.
I don't think that really has anything to do with whether you saved or not. But I get to where you coming from, because when you first come into church, you're like, okay, we got drilled with that craziness that you be going to hell for everything. So you were scared to take up for yourself, because you thought you was going to hell. You talk back to them because they got a title, you're going to hell. You wear pants, you're going to hell. You move to the left, you're going to hell. You move to the right, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. Hey, you're going to what? I'm sorry.
That should go on the album.
That I know, right? You're going to hell. You're going to hell. You're going no. But so, and because of that, and because they drilled that in you, that's why you don't know how to come at someone.
Yeah.
But it be the same thing. It just depends on, like, you at a job. You're not gonna come at your boss that, well, hey, hold on. It's your maturity level. Some people do it the same. And it just really depends on the level of disrespect. You understand? Because a lot of people, and you got people, and when I say titles, because you can look at the people with the titles in the church that use their titles and use that leader, that role to bash people. They do that at your jobs too.
Yeah.
So it's a people thing.
Yeah.
And it's the people that get big headed because of whatever their title is, whether it's your boss at work, your pastor in the church, or the person at home who's the head of the household. Either way you put it, somebody could get big-headed, get overzealous of being in control and be a control freak, and in that disrespect you. And it's just how you gonna handle it. I'm gonna handle it the way Yasmin handled it, which is check you. Yo, I don't care. You're not gonna. I told my boss before too. You're not gonna disrespect me like that
Right.
in a nice way. I don't do that. Don't
Right.
disrespect.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Putting someone in
That's
their
the same
place
way.
in love, really, without having to really
Yeah.
be disrespectful, but calling it out for what it is, and then realizing that sometimes God will show you too, and you can tell when God opens your eyes in the spirit realm. We all know this. I'm not saying nothing we don't know, but seeing the root of why a person may be the way they are. A lot of times, people are damaged. We're all damaged. I heard somebody say recently, we're all walking around in a straight jacket. We're functional lunatics here. Okay, right?
That's good. I like that.
I heard somebody say that recently, and I'm like, that is so on point. We're all functional crazy people. We all are. You know what I mean? But there's levels. There's levels, right? And
Yeah.
some people are more mature in other areas, and whatever. And a lot of times I notice, people want to come at people because they got pride issues,
Yes.
like if you see, okay, that person's dealing with pride. That person's got an ego. They're just trying to come at me because they got this title and now they're prideful. Man, you know what? Like for me, I don't pay them no mind. Don't nothing get on a person's nerves worse than got pride like that is when you just straight up ignore them.
Yeah.
You hurting their pride now. They're you ain't gonna take me serious.
Yes.
Nerves the most. Okay, real prideful person, like, you just gonna turn your back on me. Some people you just gotta ignore them and realize, what, that person is dealing with some things. I'm gonna go and just I'm gonna pray for them, because I see the root of their issue is X, Y, and Z. Sometimes you'll find out people are the way they are. The more and more you talk to people, you find out a lot. You know what I mean? And then they expose themselves, and you be like, you know what? Dang, that person got a lot going on. That's why they act like that.
That part. Yeah.
Act like that. Lord, let me pray for them. A lot of times when we just talk to people, sit down with them, you got to be their best friend, but get to know people. Sometimes you'll find out the root of why they are the way they are. Yeah. Sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with they just been hurt so much in life. They got pride issues, this, that, and the third.
Guard is up.
Yeah, their guard is up. Maybe somebody told them they won't never gonna be nothing. They get a title. Now they like, I'm about to show all y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? And they come to you like, hold on.
King Kong.
I'm the HNIC. I'm the head nigga in charge now. But yeah, and I know for me, and again, it took getting out of the four walls to recognize that.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we're in those four walls and you got this person coming at you and this person coming at you and they're telling you, well, this is how you handle it, and blah 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 blah. You just get all kind of muddled vision. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to step away from everybody, isolate where it's just you, God, Holy Spirit. And God, and when you step back outside, your eyes are like, yo, I see it now.
That's exactly what happened to me. I remember God pulled me out of the four walls, and I never forget this. Some things when God tells you, you'll never forget it. He always tells me the most simplest things that blows my mind. He said,
it's so simple, right?
He said, God told me, he said, I didn't make you that big for no reason. And immediately I understood what he said, and so I'll be brief. I did a show, rocked it. Everybody, was love. And this guy, I guess he just wasn't prepared. He gets on and he does his set, but he just wasn't, his stuff wasn't mixed down. It was just all over the place. And, I've been doing this, but, I always try to be humble, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to hype him up. I'm front row, like, yeah. Even though I know sonically, bro, you need work, but I'm trying to help him out because the crowd is not feeling him, but I'm trying to, hey, we all in this together. This dude got down on his knees in the middle of his set, started praying about me, and started saying, like, he said, God, Lord, I called down fire. Some guys just rapping and they got goals in their mouth and braids. And me and all my homies looked at each other like, is this nigga serious? and I mean, just talking smack. So after he gets done, the MC like, yo, we want, they asked for me to come back up there and get it back hype, and I do that after the whole service or whatever. We leave and everybody's showing love, and dude is still talking smack. And I remember what God told me, and I pulled dude to the side, and I knew he had some issues, so I tried to meet him where he was. But once I understood that this dude ain't really trying to hear me from the humble servant part, so I'm not gonna lie, I pulled him to the side where no one was around, and I just told him, I said, look, bro, I am not that nigga. I said, it's only so much I can take. Bro, if you keep coming at me like this, bro, I'm going to have to deal with you man to man. We can leave all the Jesus bumper stickers and t-shirts out of this. And the reason why I say that is because I know there's people out there and that deal with this. And I'm saying this, all of us collectively, I guarantee you have dealt with it to some degree. At some point, you have to call a thing a thing.
Yes.
At some point. And so that's what I'm trying to get to is when do we say, okay, hey, we've done all that we can. We've came in love. We prayed on it. When do we yield to the Father? Because God, a lot of times, what I found out, he'll be saying something totally different than what they're saying. Regardless of their title, regardless of who they are. I was taught, hey, turn the other cheek and all that. And then once I start studying the word more, I'm like, this is out of context. We use that turn the other cheek thing out of context. At some point, God did tell David, pursue them. So in that aspect, I'm not saying we got to go out there and whoop somebody, but if you got to, you got to. But what I'm saying is, after you've done all that you can and you done prayed and you done hit them with all that and they still keep coming, I think at some point it has to be addressed and understood that, hey, don't get it twisted. We're still human beings.
That's right.
At the end of the day, respect me and I'll respect you.
That's right.
Like you said earlier, we don't have to be friends.
Yeah.
But let's respect each other.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I feel that.
Hold on, Keisha. Donnie said after you do all you can, just stand. So I don't know.
I'm so weak. Hey.
Hey, I feel you though. I've gotten a lot of people took my meekness for weakness until I had to draw the line and let them know there's a lion in here, honey. You know what I'm saying? And then once I roared, it was a wrap. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know." You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be that humble, meek person that God calls us to be. And Nisi can attest to this. I've always been. I'm quiet. I'm observant. I peep it all. And sometimes people will come at me and really think, oh, well, she's, quiet or she's weak or she's not gonna. Nah. When you, how could I say? Yeah, I'm not a punk. Pretty much, you know what I'm saying?
He's not one of those.
You because you're quiet or you're humble or you're this or you that they, they can come to you any kind of way or think they're up here, whatever. And sometimes you got to draw that line and let them know, like, nah. I'm a warrior. Number one, God called me to be a warrior. I'm not.
Say it again.
I am a warrior. You know what I'm saying? I'm a warrior for real. Like, seriously. But I'm not going to sit up there and just come in the room like, I'm a warrior. God called out fire, but like, old boy on the stage, like, why would you do this? You're not supposed to do that. Like, jeez. But yeah, no, I feel that, man. Sometimes you gotta pull folk aside, like, listen here. You're gonna give me my respect. Yes, Miss Mama Peyton. Yes, don't underestimate me because I'm quiet or this or that and the third. I'll be the quietest one in the room. Perfect example, since we are talking about music.
Yeah.
I walk into a place. It's we're doing a show. It's a whole lineup. You got people pumped up in the corner and especially hip hop is very braggadocious. You know the energy of that.
Yep.
I'm just back there chilling. I got my little drink. I'm just getting ready, going, and people don't even know I'm on the roster for the night. I get on the stage and it's a whole face switch up after I get off. You know, like we didn't know. You know
what?
We didn't know.
I more on that because I know how I am. You guys know how I am. But at the end of the day, when it comes to showtime, I sit and I watch and I cheer everybody on. It's not till I open my mouth that people be like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't expect that. Because I can hear it done and done. I'm looking all, and then when I open and they hear that roar, they like, "What in the world?" Why would Slater say, "What in the world, Remy?" You know, he did. He was like, "Yo, you went up there and turned to Remy Ma on me," because they don't expect that because I'm sitting there. But go ahead, Slay. Say what you got to say. It's the joke.
Oh, no, y'all good, man. I'm enjoying the conversation. I believe it was two things I wanted to add to the conversation that actually just kind of marry both perspectives of addressing it and staying humble. I believe humility isn't cowering down into yourself.
Yeah.
Humility is knowing who you are, who God called you to be, and being able to walk in that no matter what.
Right.
Not needing the microphone for people to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
In order for you to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people using that microphone to validate who they are.
Right.
When I know who I am, I can sit in the back of the room and not say one word.
Exactly.
So that's real.
Exactly.
Real.
Been in the room playing, had to say nothing either. I feel you.
Absolutely.
I feel you. Been in the presence of.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's real humility.
Yeah.
Now, what I did, it's funny because we use this word now all over social media as it's kind of a joke now, but it's real. Nah, respectfully. That word, respectfully. I think everybody understands that everything can be done as long as it's done respectfully. Mm-hmm. What somebody does to you does not predicate on how God judges you for handling that moment.
Yeah.
I think the second thing about it is, I think from what everybody says, because y'all say after all of that happened, God told you something. Yeah. So let me ask you, is that moment really about what happened to you? Or is that moment really about just you? God uses stuff to happen to you sometime to make sure you understand your assignment.
Yeah.
And there have been many times where I have felt every feeling y'all are saying, and I wanted to come and check somebody. I'm talking about dumb hard. But God was like, nah, don't check them, check you. And when I started checking myself, I realized that there were areas in my own life that made me not handle that moment the way I should have. Because flesh says, get back at them. Flesh says, do it the way they did it to you. Spirit always says, hey, hold tight real quick. Because when you go, because here's the thing, D, I love what you said about what he told David. But what did David do before God ever told him to pursue anybody? David always prayed.
Yeah.
He always prayed first. My concern is, how often do we pray before we confront folks, or do we just do it out of emotion?
Exactly.
And I think that's
very true.
That's huge for the viewers, for those who have struggled with what you brought up, D, is we have to check ourselves, because what happens is we don't do that situation any better by fighting fire with fire. Fighting fire with fire produces more fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm trying to tell folks all the time, I'm country, y'all all New York and all this stuff, and I'm country. So you can catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
Yep.
I've learned, and I'm telling y'all, it took me a while to get here. One of the best things you can do is sow into folks that do you wrong. Because it catches them completely off guard.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing to do with you. What I love about that verse, and I'm gonna leave it alone with this, and thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Let me tell you what I love about that verse. What I love about that verse is it lets me know most of the time in the Bible days, when you were at the king's table, it was because of a celebration.
Mhm.
So when he prepares your table, trust and believe it will be a celebration. And it will be a celebration in your honor. And I hear people say all the time, yeah, they gonna watch me eat. They gonna watch me eat. No, no, no. I want to grow to the place where guess what? I'm gonna give you a plate.
Mm,
I'm gonna give you a plate because guess what? I'm so blessed that you couldn't do nothing to stop my party.
exactly.
That
You
part.
tried it, but
Tried
you
it.
didn't
Come on
stop
and say it
nothing
again.
over here. So not only can you get at my table, I'm gonna fix you a good old plate. And you're gonna eat good. It ain't gonna have no poison in it. It ain't gonna
Mhm.
be like none of the stuff you would do for me. I want to get to the place where I control the environment. Because guess what, buddy? You did what you did, but it's still my party. And these are still my guests. And if you want to get crazy, these are still my security.
Mm,
Part.
mm.
Well,
But I'm not gonna stop my celebration because you don't know how to act. And
I
I believe that takes a place of maturity.
Yes, it does.
yes,
Oh my,
I agree. That's what I was about to say. I agree with you, and it like I said, it
oh my God.
on maturity. And I
You're
agree with
going
everything. I don't think I'll let them at my table. I'll give.
That's real. That's real.
Hold
That's
on,
real.
listen. I'll give them a plate. You can even come in and enjoy the festivities and partake. But I don't think you can sit at my table.
But yes,
You
and I
Tell him
agree
go
with you.
outside
And
on
I'm
this
with
on
you.
the on the
Yeah,
stairs.
say,
I'm
I
with you.
yeah.
But let me ask you this: who would that be more uncomfortable on, them or you? Think about it. They
Well,
at a table with all your friends.
Mm-hmm.
They at the table with the Peters who ride for you.
Come on.
They at the table with
They
the
like,
folks. Yeah, they waiting for that joker to act up.
But
They
for
waiting
the
for
city,
that joker to act up. So
yeah.
is that more uncomfortable for you or the person who the table was prepared in front of? That's why that don't bother me.
Yeah,
Baby, you at my table.
yeah,
These my guests.
I guess.
They
yeah,
gonna ride for me. You the one
yep,
that's uncomfortable, not me.
Yep.
And let me add something real quick.
facts.
You said who is it for? And I learned that just like you said, it was really for me.
Yeah.
It's for me to go through. And because here's what's so crazy. My pen game, it actually got a million times better
Wow.
once I crossed over because I had to learn, okay, you can't be in here cussing and calling everybody out their name in there. You got to be able to use words,
Yeah. Use
and
your
so
words.
use your words. So it helped me. It helped me in that capacity, but what also helped me is it helped me to handle and harness my emotions
Wow.
because a lot of the stuff that's going on in music right now with these cats killing each other, it's about emotions. They don't know how to express their emotions, so they're killing each other
Yeah.
when they talking about this guy's did this. It's all emotion based, and so one of the things that we kind of glossed over is when we put our emotion and we're raw within our music, that's what really translates. When we're real and raw with it, there I have records out that I'm just I'm telling you the truth about what happened in my life. And what's crazy is most people resonate with that. To me, I don't
Mm-hmm.
really like it. I
Mm-hmm.
shared it, but at the same time, I don't really like it because I'm giving you my raw emotion where you can
Mm-hmm.
poke at it, you can
Yeah.
laugh at it.
Yeah.
That's raw. It's easy for me to rap about the glamour and that's easy.
Yeah.
You can. How many times can you rap about a gold chain in a car? That's easy.
Right. Come
you
on.
know, but can you really rap about really being vulnerable and hurt like the stuff we're
Yes.
talking about right now and
Mm,
articulate it in a way that it's gonna touch somebody?
exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know who was a monster at that? RIP to DMX, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
he was a monster
A
at being
monster at
vulnerable.
that. Mm-hmm.
Just saying prayer after prayer, letting folk know this demon is
Mhm.
real. Y'all
Yeah,
don't want to go down this alley because this is the dark alley right here. And
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm fighting like hell to get out of this.
yeah.
And he would
Yeah.
tell you that through his music. He would tell you that through every prayer on his record. He would say the demons and the monsters that he would face. And he would do it and still be thug about it.
Yep.
And what rapper do you know that literally Jay-Z said he hated having to come after
Absolute.
DMX?
Jay-Z couldn't stand it.
Yep.
Like no
Jay-Z
other
said
rapper
all
can
he
say
had was, after DMX got off the stage, he said all he had was, it's a hard knock.
That's it. I'm telling you, nothing beats, having music that people can relate to. Because like I said, we're all going through something. We're all learning lessons. And for somebody to have that platform to speak those words that so many people can't put into, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And it helps us to get through. It really does.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did a song about being, having my heart broken.
Yeah.
And how many rappers are willing to be vulnerable and rap about having their heart broken. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, with dealing with the male ego and all that, like we guard that. But when you actually put it out there, you start to find out, wait, oh, this cat, you went through heartbreak too? Oh,
Yeah.
and it all interconnects and it all intertwines. And I think that will push the culture from genre to genre. It'll push the culture forward when we talk about these things and be raw with it. As raw as you can, because not everybody's ready to talk about their true story. I know people that have gone through some traumatic things, especially, a lot of females that I know that do music that have gone through some traumatic stuff. And I'm like, yo, put that out there. Talk
Put that on
about
paper.
that. Put it out there. As much as it hurt, let me feel it through your vocal cords. It's like R&B, and it's just like people who play the keys. Like my cousin Travis, this dude, when he play the keys, bro, he can change a whole mood just by hitting a
That's
few
my
chords.
baby. That's my baby.
I'm so weak.
Sorry.
No, that's real though, and I think that goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning. The only people who can do that, and they're rare, y'all, is rare, are people who have found their voice.
Yeah.
Because half these jokers don't even write. If you want to be real, half these jokers don't even write for themselves.
Exactly.
Because they don't know their voice. That's why they allow the industry to give them a voice.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have to. I pray with all of this technology, with all of this social media, that we stop. It's crazy how God allowed technology to give us an open lens to our life, and we still live fake.
Can you say that again, please?
He gave us the technology to literally have an open lens to our life and our journey, and we still choose to live fake.
Okay, stop right there. Are you on the live, Slay?
Huh?
Are you on the live? Can you put that in the comments so we can ping that up there?
I got you.
Pin that to the top.
Yes, because okay. So we going there because he just opened up a can of worms. That's another thing why the music now, because we was going, how do we view music today?
Perfect segue into that.
Yes, it's like a lot of it I can't get with, and y'all can say it's because I'm whatever hip hop. It's not about a hip hop thing for me because my favorite singer is Alanis Morissette, and she's not hip hop at all. You understand what I'm saying?
Jagged Little Pill, come on with it.
But the music now, it sometimes it's not coming from a genuine place.
Yeah.
So it's nowhere, like you said, we have the lens for our lives, and it's being portrayed fake.
Yeah.
And that's why I think in the beginning when I said we need some new music from some artists that's gonna help. That's why the land can heal right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't heal with the WAP. You got WAP, that's good. And no disrespect. Because I like some Cardi B. I like some of her stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't, but we can't heal nothing with the WAP. What is that? How are we relating? What can that do? What is it gonna give us a memory of when we was wet? Like that's not nothing that can't help us. That can't do nothing for us. And I just feel like you said, they don't have their own sound because the industry has given them their sound. And then so many ghostwriters, and the ghostwriters are not writing like they used to. They writing to get paid. So they write in fairy tales.
Yeah, they're just writing. They're writing to get a hit, and that's it.
They writing to get a hit. They write fairy tales right now, and you have the artist or the person, I'm gonna say, that's spewing out the fairy tale. So it's not hitting nothing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you,
And what it's doing is, especially to these young kids that really don't have a mind of their own, it's doing the reverse effect. And like all the time, when you see something so much, you want to do it. So now these they really think they going to hell to give a lap dance to the devil. No, nigga, you're not gonna be giving out no lap dances. That's not how it's gonna work. That's not what's gonna happen. And said she doing what she doing, and she still she wife, and she don't have to cook. Nigga, don't cook for your husband and see what happened.
Hello.
You feel what I'm saying?
But look at the power. What you talking about is power. We got the power to influence whether we want to influence good or evil. Look at the power. All of that you just said is power.
It's sad right now to me, yo.
It is. And it's crazy because I've been accused of posting too much. I've been accused of letting people know too much about me. And I've been accused of just kind of living freely through social media. And I have so many people that say you should be private, you should be this, and that. No, I've posted every relationship I've been in. You want to know why? Because at that time, it was what I needed. At that time, I loved that person. Because I'm no longer with that person does not mean that was not a part of my journey.
Right.
Because I tried something and it failed does not mean it was not a part of my journey.
Right.
Because I had hopes in something and it didn't turn out the way I wanted to does not mean that's not a part of my journey. We got to stop editing our stories. It's all a part of our testimony. That's why our books suck, because we keep tearing pages out.
Woo!
The more people, I heard a great leader say this: people admire your strengths, but they connect to your weaknesses.
That part.
I don't care how much you won. I don't care how many times you won. Tell me when you lost.
Tell me when you lost.
How did you get to where you are after your losses?
Come on. Come on.
Anybody can sit down and tell me their achievement. Anybody can tell me how they won. Tell me how you made it to where you are after your losses.
Come on.
Come on, Bishop.
And that's what we need.
And I was gonna say that to me, what I've seen has been the biggest disconnect between our generation and the generation before us. They don't necessarily tell us, hey, how I need to see how did you get there? Don't just wag your finger at me and tell me I'm doing wrong. Tell me, show me, how do I get to where you got to? Show me how do I stand? How do I take these hits? With me having children now that are teenagers, I'm always going into their world. Let me see what's in their world, because just because we grew up in the hard knocks, we were we was taught, hey, when you go to school, you probably gonna have to get into a fight. And these kids ain't fighting nowadays. They bringing guns and stuff. They dealing with. We had to deal with the bully at one school. They dealing with the bully all over social media. So it all goes back into the same thing where it's like, show me how did you get there? Let me see your vulnerabilities. And so I always talk to my kids, I know y'all think Daddy's Superman, but let me show you, hey, this is what also a part of me. This is how I got to this place. The reason why I'm so knowledgeable in these areas because I fell down so much. I've been through the shame and the embarrassment. What Jay-Z said, Hov did that. So hopefully you ain't got to
go through that.
Exactly. I'll be quick to give somebody an example out of my life. I'll be like, I'm gonna tell. This is why. Let me tell you about the time XYZ. Like I got receipts, and I'm not scared to show them or share them because I don't want anybody to ever. God is like, don't just, like you said, don't just wag your finger. Don't come off as like self-righteous or that you're a know-it-all. Let him know. No, I'm telling you because I've been there and I've done that. I've seen it. I wrote the book on it. I got the receipts. It's like for me to open the drawer because I can do that.
Right.
It's necessary.
Okay, Slater.
It's so necessary.
I need to say this to Slater. I'm sorry, y'all. But Slater, I'm so proud of you. And I'm so happy that you didn't allow the people who told you to go into your closet and be private and to stop posting this and stop posting that. See, those are
Okay.
people that's waiting for you to get to a certain place so they can latch on and get whatever, get a piece of what you getting. And they think if you post that it's gonna stop them from getting it because it might stop you. But what I'm telling you is you keep doing it because there's so many watching you, men and women, because of the arena that you in. I even watch you because you're an
Wow.
awesome. You can lead me. It's only a few that can usher me in. There's a quite just a few. Okay. And you're one of them. And to know that God can use you to that magnitude and you have a gift to that magnitude and you still fall down, but yet you get up. God, Donnie, you must be talking about me. You want to give me some money? You want to give me a deal or something? You know, you fall down, but you still get up, or
Yeah.
you can go through relationships and you're in relationships. You get the hug. You're showing them how to be intimate without, without putting themselves on the chopping block. You're
Right.
showing them how to love. You're showing them because I watch you. I might not comment a lot or say a lot, but I do watch. And trust me, if I'm doing it, other people are doing it. And I heard God say He has you open. God, I didn't want to go here. He has you open for a reason because there's so many people just like me that's watching you. Because to the magnitude of your gift, because when I tell you, when you worship, when you sing, when you use your gift in full capacity and operation, it's not just good and pretty music or to give people a shout. This actually healing that's coming out of your mouth. It comes through your lungs, it flows through your veins. And through that healing, I'm not just talking about if you got COVID or you got diabetes or if you have high blood pressure or something wrong with your fingers or something. I'm talking about healing of the heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
This love that flows through your vocal cords, that
Wow.
you have this love that flow, and even in that, and you showing and posting and showing people that yes, I loved her, but she ain't work. Next,
Right.
I said, don't take it as a failure. It's not a failure, it's a lesson
Yeah.
because He's preparing her for you, but He still has to prepare you for you. Ooh, that's the
Yeah.
studio. My last song might be finished. I'm sorry, but He's preparing you for you. See, because there was still some things. That's why. That's why your worship is so important because it's not just for people, it's for you yourself. That healing
Absolutely.
is for you yourself. People is looking at your physical thinking it needs the healing. It's not your physical that needed the healing. It was your inside that needed the healing. So God said that's why your gift is to that magnitude. And that's what He's doing. Each one took you up a little further. Each
Yeah.
one made you the man that you're supposed to be. Each
Yeah.
used them as a lesson learned because each one you learned something else. So now
Absolutely.
you know how to love her, how to be intimate, how to cook for her, how to give her what she wants. You might not understand us completely as women because we're strange, but you're getting there. So
Yeah.
that when you are ready for that one, you won't have to worry about a thing no more. And then you can keep posting her, whether y'all arguing, whether y'all in love,
Come
because
on here.
wake up then because you're gonna be ready for her.
Come
And
on here.
I just keep hearing God say, keep doing what you're doing. Don't let the leeches make you go in hiding because this is not the time for you to be hiding because this is your time. This is a time where all the people that was pushed aside, even though you're in the front, people still tried to push aside for certain things only when they needed you and because of your gift. But if you didn't have the gift, they wouldn't have pushed you in the forefront because of your, because of your outer. But God said, this is the time for us to flow because this is what the world needs. I hear
Yeah.
you, Holy Ghost in here. This is what the world need. They need that
Yeah.
because you're one that's gonna keep it 100. See, there's a lot of worship leaders in that area, but they not gonna keep it 100. They
Come on.
still faking. They
Come on.
iron and we moving now and Yahweh, Yahweh in front of people, but they
Yeah.
don't even believe it themselves as a heart thing. And God
Yeah.
said, "You're one that believes."
Yeah.
And it's this time.
Yeah.
It's this time. It's Slater time. Keisha, it's key time. You
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
people had to die? Why you think certain God? Blowing my mind. Certain people had to move out of our way. It ain't got nothing to do with our age, Keisha Slater. It's nothing to do with our age. It has nothing. This is the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
says keep posting because
Yeah.
she and the one that's the one she been watching you anyway.
Wow. Wow.
She been watching you anyway, and what
Wow.
she's seeing is, well, I know he's not perfect, but it's something else going on here.
Yeah.
So I'm watching because I know he ain't gonna do me like that. Huh? Oh, he grew up a little more because look what he said about that one. Come on now. So just keep posting, keep living, keep being who you are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Keep
That's
being
right.
who you are and keep giving, keep spewing that healing out because it's a heart thing. And that
Absolutely.
well, it ain't the handicap of the physical, it's the handicap of the inside. And that's why we cannot move. And that's why there's no revival. And that's why we are in the state that we are in now because our hearts are handicapped.
Hearts, come on here.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't get up here for this. I thought, okay, I'm sorry, y'all. But that is what I heard God say, so I had to be obedient. You know, I'm very obedient. I might be
Hey, you
gangster.
better let him move. Let him move. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. All right, let's go back to
I appreciate it. I receive it.
my God. Yirabasha.
D look like he got something to say. It's like something's on like the tip of his
No, hey, I know when she get the flowing, hey, I'm right here.
But I think that's what I've always appreciated about her is y'all, we gotta stop thinking holiness is a look, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like looking at a lot of us, if you were just looking at us, people wouldn't know what to believe about us. But God is trying to raise up a generation of people who, man, you can dress this vessel up all you want to.
Oh,
If that vessel is
Oh my God.
trifling on the inside,
let me tell you. Oh my
if
God.
that vessel is nasty on the inside, you ain't doing nobody nothing.
Nothing. I want to share this, and I'll refrain from who the artist is at this moment because I don't want to, even though
Yeah.
I know they're not ashamed because they post this stuff on their page a lot. But I know of a very, 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 very well-known hip hop artist where until I got to know this person, you wouldn't think that they love the Lord as much as they did until
Wow.
you know the person. And the very first video conference we ever had,
I know.
they get on, you know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to expose that yet. Nisi, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When the very first video conference we had, all that person could say was, "Ain't God great? God is so good. The Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. This is God. This is God." And I'm like my spirit started. I was like, oh yeah, we gonna get along just fine. You know what I'm saying? And it's so true. God is raising up even people that have been in the game.
Yeah.
And its proof is in the pudding because Kanye is actually one of them. Y'all think he crazy.
Yeah.
But I went to a Kanye Sunday service right here at Eddie Long Church when he came down the street.
Yeah.
I saw teenagers that came to see the show and they ended up on the altar.
Mm-hmm.
Even if at first they probably were just going up to the altar to get closer to the celebrity, but some of those teenagers actually broke.
Yeah.
So, people in the church, those that are set in their ways in their mind, thinking that God is gonna come this certain way, and they've been calling it out for all these years about how he gonna do this and how he gonna do that. It's about time y'all forget how y'all think he gonna come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Packaging up people in every corner, in every area, in every sector that you can imagine. Even in hip hop, where a lot of church people deem it evil and blah 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 and da 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 da. He's raising up men and women in the culture that are gonna speak his word to the masses.
His word. Yes.
His word to
Not
the masses.
their word, his word.
Yeah.
Because you got a whole lot of preachers speaking their word.
Right.
His a
His
whole lot
word
of pastors speaking
yeah.
their word.
Yeah.
And they're going to speak his word. And I think the crazy thing about what you just said too, Key, is God has been dealing with me in that area because who prepared the way for Jesus to come? What did the Bible say about John the Baptist?
Exactly.
They said people thought he was a wild man.
Crazy.
This joker hanging out in the wilderness eating locusts.
Come on.
He
Locust
lived
and
off
honey.
he lived off of wild locusts and honey.
And honey.
If that ain't a lunatic, I
Oh,
don't know
the
what to tell you.
honey.
That is a lunatic. But this is the man who prepared the way
Right.
for the Messiah to enter
Right.
the world.
And
This
and,
is
and
the same man who, when they were in their parents' wombs, made Jesus leap.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come
But
on.
this is the one who was
Yeah.
considered a wild man.
Right. Right.
We gotta let go of these packages, man.
Let go of those packages. And even when it comes down to and let me be clear, I'm not saying, you know, do whatever you want, blah blah blah, but you know, there's gonna be some weed smoking, wine drinking,
Basically what you're saying is it's gonna be some wild locusts and honey
cussing. Thank you.
That part. Wait a
People out
minute.
here who
I think cussing is colorful
is for
language.
God, right?
What you say?
They don't have on the doily on the head.
Yeah.
They got orange hair. They got purple
That
hair.
part.
They wearing, you know what I'm saying, animal print hats and all of that.
That's real.
Tim's.
Then Tims and stuff, and
Well-
braids in their hair and stuff like that. But yeah, it blew my mind, and that further confirmed for me something that God showed me a long time ago about you know how people talk about wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
How about sheep's and wolves clothing?
Wow.
That was revealed to me. Me and my brother even made a song long time ago, you know, like, yeah, y'all, you know, y'all get prepared for the get prepared for the sheeps that look like wolves that's gonna come out here to deliver, you know. And it's a lot, but it blew my mind. But that was a sign to me that, wow, you know, just how the divine orchestration happened with me and this particular artist, and discovering that they had such a heart for God. I mean, whoa, every conversation, I'm just like, well, dang, he make me feel like I need to go on my
I need to get,
you know, but you go on their Instagram and they like, yeah, OG pound kush, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? The Holy Spirit is just so, God, won't he do it? And I'm like, what? It blows my mind. And you know, they real about it.
Yeah.
You know, they real about it. It's just, yeah, it's mind blowing. And God is so, we just can't put him in the box. He's too vast, too wide, too just unfathomable. I can't even, he's just too great, man. That's why I never doubt how God come, you know.
Absolutely.
Ever since he told me, when I look at my cell phone, or if I look at this cup right here, if I look at this fan that's blowing, or if I look at my dog, you can see God, you know, see me in everything. I'm in all of this. Don't ever question how I'm gonna come. I'll come just like he said in the word. If he got to speak through a rock, he would. We cannot box God in. God is too big for that. He's beyond all of this.
Yeah.
You know, like it blows my mind. But anyway, I digress. But yeah.
What I was gonna say is the word of God says that he will make us fishers of men.
Yeah.
And I don't think we really dissect that thought enough, because I remember years ago when I first started doing Christian rap and people were judging me, I was noticing when I would go out of the church and I would minister, like I would go to like halfway houses and homeless shelters and stuff like that. Man, I mean, I'm like, yo, this is what it's about. Like, they was loving. I received the biggest offering, like monetary offering, when I was at a homeless shelter. Dude came up to me and gave me like a couple $100, and I'm literally looking at him like, bro, I'm ready to give it back to him.
Right.
Right.
There was a minister there. He said, no, let him sow into your life. He said, really, he said, you don't need it, but he needs this. So that's one thing. But the other thing that I learned was my appearance is what also drew them, because I didn't look like what the people that were shunning them away from. I didn't look like the Pharisees.
Yeah.
You know, so I remember years ago, I promised to goodness, it's on one of my old records. I preached about this on some I guess you can call it prophetic. I preached about Kanye and Jay-Z bringing souls into the kingdom because I thought about it. Go back to the scripture. He would make us fishers of men. Well, if you take a worm and you go fishing, you'll get a certain kind of fish. You're not going to get the big fish. But if you take a shiny lure, they call them lures. You take a shiny lure, it's gonna get a certain type of big fish. Kanye and Jay-Z are that certain kind of lure that can get those big fish, and with those big fish come way more fish. So what we deem as being, oh, this is ungodly, God is like, he said, I will use the foolish things to confound the wise. Because now look at the church. The church is looking at Kanye like, oh, he ain't this and he ain't that, but he's bringing more souls to the kingdom than you have.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop.
I want to go a step further, even with what you just said, even about Jay-Z, because we always talk about, this whole, Illuminati thing.
Yeah.
It ain't no secret. We all talk about it, but it's like, and we talk about devil worship in the industry and all of that stuff.
It's a lot of it.
Let me ask y'all a question though. And this is how I know God don't think like us. Do you think God allows that? Because would I believe that God is a deliverer from someone who actually been addicted to something like drugs versus somebody who hasn't telling me God's a healer?
Exactly.
How crazy is that if these jokers really worship the devil
Look,
and
I know where you're
have
going.
an encounter with God? We sometimes don't reach those people because I can't speak for y'all. I grew up in church.
Mhm.
So a lot of people would just say to me, oh, you do that just because that's how you was raised. That's how you was taught. But what happens when a joker literally has chosen hell
Yeah.
and has an encounter with God and changes not only their heart, but the way they fight? More convicts are more passionate about God. More drug dealers, former drug dealers, are more passionate about God and street ministry
Come
and
on.
saving their brothers and sisters because they actually know what it feels like to be
Yep.
at the brink of death, and
Yep.
God
And he
literally
brought him out.
snatched them
Yes.
out of it.
Yeah.
So could it be God is purposely allowing these people to flirt with the devil?
Exactly.
Hey.
It could. Right.
To date the devil.
You tell them
Just
my
long
testimony.
enough to know, hey, y'all, it really almost.
Our testimony, because I sure flirted with him.
Come on.
Come on, I
Come
flirted.
on.
I dated.
And so I'm telling you, we got to stop judging people and see the world for what God really wants it to be. Can I be real with y'all?
Be
He
real.
gave the
Keep it real.
preachers a chance.
Come on.
He gave the pastors a chance.
That part.
And we keep seeing scandal after scandal, lie after lie,
Come on now.
hypocrisy after hypocrisy. Evangelicals fighting against the black folks because they can't even stand up and say that wrong is wrong because of what political party they support.
Talk about it.
Woo.
We've brought politics into God's house.
Talk about it.
We've changed what the game is all about. And God said, guess what? If I can't use y'all, I can use anybody.
Yep.
So let me take the devil worshipers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let them flirt with it just long enough to where you can believe I can really change anybody. That's what he did. That's what he did to the Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul was a Christian killer.
He was the
That's
killer.
what I'm about to say.
Yeah, he was the
Christian.
killer.
So what is wrong with our people's mindsets when the progenitor of this thing that we call Christianity, he was killing Christians. He was known for it, but yet God used
him. And he's literally goes down in history as one of the greatest apostles. He wrote most of the New Testament, y'all.
Exactly.
The Bible we read.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need people to understand we gotta stop. This earth is still in God's hands.
Yeah.
This earth is still under God's authority and his control. Nothing on this planet happens without God's permission.
Come on.
Come on
So
now.
we have to remember that that's exactly what's happening. So I pray for these cats. I said all that to say while the people judge them, I pray for these cats.
Love them.
Because
Say
their
that.
assignment is about to be great.
That part.
Their assignment is about to be amazing. And now, not only did God do that for y'all, since y'all, since the Israelites needed a king, y'all remember that. That's how Saul and them came. Because God said, I am your king, but these Negroes needed a king. So now what God is doing in this generation, think about it. These cats are not becoming millionaires. They becoming billionaires.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm not just raising up folk with an anointing. I'm raising up folk with a testimony. And now I'm raising up folk with some authority.
Exactly.
Because money, whether we like it or not, makes this world go round.
That part. Why you saying that? If y'all like to donate, make sure you send it to dollar sign.
I am so weak.
Yeah, it's dollar sign.
Plug it right now.
Put that up there.
She said that is a perfect time to take up an offering.
Perfect
Hallelujah.
Oh my goodness.
I will cheerful giver say hello. So he's raising up people with resources and authority and people who can speak with more than their mouths. They can speak with their pockets. They can speak with their resources. They can make mountains move.
Yes.
And so I'm telling y'all, I just sit back and see what God is doing. And I pray. Beautiful. I don't let the media shift me like I used to. Right. Back in the day, they post something, you mad at everybody.
Yep.
You mad at everybody. Even all these police killings. I don't watch it because the news makes me angry. I have to step back sometime and say, God, what is your plan in all of this?
Yeah.
So I challenge us to step back and ask God.
Yeah.
When we see all this chaos and all this turmoil, let's not let the media get us so upset that we start popping off like everybody else.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Let's really, man. Let's just ask God, what's your plan in this? It hurts, y'all. I ain't saying it don't hurt. I ain't saying it don't make you want to get your peace and go outside and start that. Let's go and make that civil war happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I am saying is, as believers, we got to know who's in control. And we got to ask God, what's your plan in this? Because I know it's bigger than what we can see.
Oh, yeah. That's facts.
Well, guys, listen, maybe I'll do a part 2 to this. This was really good.
Well, girl, you done had me up here for an hour and 52 minutes.
I'm trying to get you off. Y'all won't. Your fault. It's your fault, Slater.
Send something to my Cash App too. No, I'm just joking.
Come on, I'm just joking. Everybody put your cash.
Why you at it?
Listen, everybody put your cash up. Listen, y'all. I want to say thank you to D'Angelo. I want to say thank you to Slater. Key, you know I love you.
I love you.
I love all of you. I respect you guys as the artists. I respect you as men and women. I respect you for who you are. It's an honor to share this platform with you guys. You know, it is.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys for saying.
Thank you.
How they say it? I appreciate you for saying the yes. I appreciate that. So, without further ado, you guys, I would like to thank you. This has been True Serum, your girl Yasmin Denise. Don't forget, I will be in VA September the 12th. It's going to be 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be in Chesapeake, Virginia. The flyer is going up. It's called Truthfully Broken. Men and women are invited. We're going to have vendors. We do have, I believe, 3 vendor spots available. If you would like to vend, hit me up. This has been True Serum. Thank you, and you guys have a great night.
Peace.
That's why chains are broken.
Hey.